Hello. So what's going on? Thanks for calling.
Okay.
We're waiting for some
I
people
can't see
to.
you, man, but that's fine.
Yeah, but we're waiting. We're probably waiting for some people to tune in a little bit because we just had a crash. But
Yeah, right. If it does do that again, it's just because I'm in Thailand and the connection is not the absolute best.
it's all good.
Yeah. So if it does, like, it only takes about like 20 seconds, and I just log back in.
No, we had a crash ourselves here down in Dead TV land.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like it's doing some weird shit actually, but I'm not worried. I can just right now. We're under some kind of attack, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep broadcasting.
Well, dude, that's all right because it's mind over matter reality. So you just will it.
Definitely, but
Yeah.
So we're still on the air though. It's just
Cool.
like there's some kind of jamming going on a little bit. It says I got 20 players tuned in, but that's okay while I reboot this other stuff. So who are you and why are you calling? You're Dylan.
Right, man. Right, yeah, I'm Dylan, right? Okay, right. It gets really funny because there's a weird synchronicity that goes on with things. Yeah, man, I found like this song of yours when I was about 14 years old. And yeah, it was You Look Great When I'm High. And like up until then, man, I was going to be a dentist. So like, fuck that. Like, I'd be telling people to put the fluoride in the water. Right? But yeah, so yeah, a long story short, man. Then I'm an actor, and I was in this TV show called The Pacific. And there's this guy who made The Pacific. His name's Tim Van Patten.
What's
And,
up with that noise? What do you think the microphone is? It just the air, or what's going on?
Hang on, man. I'll turn off the fan. Just give me one tick. Yeah, right. So like how like. Yeah. And so, like, I was on that set of that show, and, like, I got talking to the guy, Tim Van Patten, and he's the executive producer of that show, Boardwalk Empire, that they use Straight Up and Down for.
Sure.
And that's what, like, awoke me to, like, holy shit, there is a weird synchronicity with things.
Yeah.
And, like, because then, like, 9/11, 10 years on, happened, and I was thinking about the sequence of numbers, right?
Right.
And, like, binary code, right?
Right.
Like, what do you do when you go from 9 to 11? You skip.
Yeah.
Like, and what's 10? Like a 1 and a 0.
Right.
A binary code.
I know.
Yeah, I know you know, because you put it in your songs, man.
I know that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. I had to work it out. That's why,
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, like, because you know how, like, how in the Hollywood films, like, they'll put in, the little hints about it.
Well,
I was just watching one today.
Those guys in the media and Hollywood and everywhere, they love illumination. The symbology, but
Yeah.
like I've tried to explain to some people before, like if you go to the Louvre and you look at the whole collection of art, everything obeys this geometric patterns. It's like you strip away whatever you're looking at and look at the architecture of it, and it's all doing exactly the same thing. And like every single artist that created that was aware of that, and not only that, the creator of all the collections is aware of that. And it's not a coincidence.
Man, like, I mean, it's Magnolia. I mean, like, how much of it can be coincidence? Right?
We don't even believe in coincidences. We believe in coinkydinks.
Yeah. Well, so then I got to, like, thinking today, like, because it's going to be, like, 11111 down here, like, big full moon. Like, it's getting real ready. Like, this is funny, too, man. Dogs don't look at the moon.
Maybe they do.
Yeah, maybe they do, but they weren't when I was watching them.
What about those Russian dogs in the space capsules in the 50s?
Yeah, exactly. When you think about it, because, like, dogs will howl at the moon. But, like, they won't just, like, sort of look at it casually. I was trying to get a dog to do it on the beach today, like, because, after I worked this shit out, this black dog came up to me and, like, just wouldn't stop following me around. He was real friendly, but, Anyway, like, it comes back to this, man. The Emerald Tablet of Hermes.
Well, you know what I was talking about the other day is when you...
That's why all the US
wait, hold that up.
You...
Hold that up again for a second. Check this out. Hold it up. Hold it up for a second to the screen. It says right there, where does it say in God? It says in God we trust, but you know what?
In God we trust.
Check this out. You see that pyramid right there? That's not the God of Israel. That's the slave master God of Israel.
That's right.
It's not even the same fucking God. They don't have no burning bush or menorah on there or cross for Jesus. And people can't even fucking figure that out. Like, how fucking stupid can you be? I know. And that's the fun part about it. It's like, duh, hello, that isn't the same God you're thinking of, you dumb, fat, fucking idiot. Maybe you'd know that if they open up a library in your fucking trailer park. But no.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. Well, like, but that's the thing. Like, so
I mean,
today,
how fucking obvious can you get? I mean, it's like, that's Pharaoh, the guy that enslaved your God, right?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about the same God, and that's what
the capstones, dude. The capstones are missing from the pyramids in Giza too.
No, I know, but we're not arguing Semitics here.
No.
It's like, fucking come on, buddy. So, anyways, 11/11. You know what's brilliant about this attack plan on Iran? Normally, they would do it. You'd be looking for the next moonless night, right?
Mm.
But how badass would it be just to do it under a full moon on 11/11?
Yeah, because that's the whole thing about like what's happening.
Freak them fucking out. It'd be like we're not even hiding, because like it wouldn't even fucking matter. Like a full moon or a moonless night even matters to a cruise missile.
Mm.
All they got to do is all they have to do. The Israelis, all they have to do is just fly to the border and get into a dogfight, right?
Shit, man, I can just send drones.
No, but I know, but not to hit hardened bunkers.
Yeah.
There's not a drone on Earth that we know about publicly that carries missiles big enough for that. It would be pointless to have a drone. Do you understand?
Mm.
You're talking about, to blow that up, you need ICBMs. You need intercontinental.
Yeah, right.
You need big boys. Then the best way to do that, even if they want it, hold on.
How dense is that rock?
Well, it doesn't matter if you use this like titanium or tungsten, something like heavy like gold, like tungsten, that they have tons of it, and you put an amount of that stuff the size of a school bus into orbit, and then had it coming straight down, that would be like, they call it a meteor gun, and they have those. They've been doing that for a long time. So basically, if you put up like a fake satellite that's solid metal, and you just use that little booster rocket and goes straight down on a target, then you don't need explosives or atomic weapons. It just becomes like a meteor, and it will just pulverize the ground. So Iran's playing a really fucked up game by even.
Well, do you reckon they're going to do that? Because I reckon they're going to use like the some sort of electrics, because like probably more so on the basis of like, because on that whole like Tiamat and like Babylonian thing about like the lightning striking the sea.
But
when you translate, what do you get when you translate lightning in Hebrew?
Yeah, but yeah, well,
dude, type it into the translator.
I know. but the weird thing about it is like, it all depends, because the next time they get into it, like seriously, like this next phase of total war, they have to accomplish multiple things at once.
Yeah.
So
that's why we get the hot shit.
The weird thing about it is like, they have to disarm Pakistan.
Yeah.
That's why all the news leaks about like those guys doing warhead development and all that shit, and saying that North Korea and Pakistan were both behind that, because that's the thing. See, because it's all about China.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know anything about this shit, if you know anything about it, it's all absolutely about China.
Well, like with today, right? So like, there's a new Hollywood film that's just come out. Like, I've been waiting for it for a while because it's important, like, and they held off on releasing it for years and years. It's Bruce Robinson's new film, with Nail and I.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Bruce
Rum
Robinson.
Diaries.
Like, yeah, exactly, man. Have you seen it yet?
No. But I know about the book. I
know.
Yeah,
well, no, the movie is very different to the book.
I know, but I'm not even interested in Hollywood.
Well, no, don't be. But the thing is that they give away the date of when they're gonna destroy this one.
Yeah.
The Emerald Tablet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be it's going to begin in June of next year and go to August.
Definitely. Why not? There's lots of reasons why. But the weirdest,
right now, like, I've got this.
I'm making some predictions that they don't say in the movie. One of them is like, it's real interesting. Like Berlusconi says he'll resign as soon as the parliament in Italy passes this austerity bill, right? To make everybody pay on the street. Now, if you think those people were throwing Molotov cocktails and 300,000 people having riots in Rome 2 weeks ago, that was before these new things come into play. They just raised the interest rate for 10-year debt bonds for Italy to over 7%, which makes it impossible for them to pay it back. They could just pay off the debt at the former rate. So Italy's over as a country. But you know how Berlusconi can skip right past that I have to resign shit?
Yep.
Wrong time to resign. We're at war.
Ah, exactly.
And that also stops the protests everywhere. The Occupy Wall Street, too.
Yeah, man.
You know why? Do you know why it stops it, though? Do you know why it stops it dead in its tracks? Because under wartime powers acts in the UK or the US, any of the Commonwealth or whatever, right? It's not appropriate time to go out protesting. See what I'm saying? Anytime they call that, they don't even have to call it a police state or whatever. They could just go, you know what? There's no way you guys are going to be doing these protests or whatever. It's like a whole different ball game when you're at war. That's anytime they call that. You know what I mean? It just becomes inappropriate. It's like, why are you guys fucking protesting your government when we're fighting this war?
Yeah, this external enemy. Some people that you don't even fucking know. Some people you don't even know on the other side of the world that you've never met are your fucking mortal enemy. It's like, how fucking stupid's that? And they do it all the time, and people fall for it.
Well, let's not make any value judgments right this minute. I'm just talking about what actual situations, like damn straight scenarios that are going to happen. See, I've been talking about this stuff for a long time.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I've been trying to follow back like some of the stuff you've like put out there.
Doesn't even matter at this point.
Over the last couple of months.
I was trying to explain to somebody, I think it was Joe Foster today in a little comment. He's the guy that recorded the Jesus and Mary chain and all that shit. He was one of the main guys at Creation, responsible for all that shit, My Bloody Valentine, everything. He's like one of the real doers with Alan McKee.
Yeah. Right.
So anyways, he goes way back.
Hang on, what was that name again?
His name's Joe Foster.
Joe Foster. I'll type it in down here.
Yeah.
Sweet name. Joe
Foster at Creation. So anyways, I was talking to him today, and I was like, I said, don't confuse support for people's legitimate right to protest all this shit with a call to protest. And don't you confuse that either. See, it's completely different. Like, if I say the police state, a militarized police force with baton rounds and shit is bullshit, that doesn't mean I'm saying go out and protest. I'm saying when you point a gun at somebody, in their head, it's the same thing as a robbery, right? Somebody walks into the bank and they go, "I've got a gun." Doesn't matter if they have a gun. That's
the departed, man. Like
just by saying it, it is terrorism. So even when a police
you can call for a criminal.
Well, when
you face a loaded gun, what's the difference?
Now, when police pull their arms against protesters, then that's violence in and of itself, whether they shoot it or not. And that's that's bullshit.
Shit kicked out me by the cops in Melbourne. Like where I was living before. They gave him a 10% pay rise. I got the shit kicked out of me. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of this country.
I'm not saying that.
I just my passport to some fucking Thai guy because it's not my ID.
I don't know about any of that. I'm just saying. I'm not saying police shouldn't have guns. The police got to do what they got to do. I'm just saying it's a fact. When somebody pulls a weapon and points it at you, then that's violence in and of itself. Psychological violence, and that's bullshit. And that's now with the police in the UK. See, I like the UK. A lot of things about it. I pay all my tax to the UK. And what I want to say is, like, the minute the police start pointing guns at people that aren't criminals, right? Then that's not okay. I'm not telling them how to do their business, but this goes out to everybody. This goes out to like the Americans doing that too.
Start putting the peace back on the people, and then they're going to turn on the very police because they'll use their other external force.
Well, the problem with going to protests is you don't know who else is going to go there. There's all
no, man, you don't go to protests.
You have people that are psychologically unstable like me. No, just kidding. But anyways, whatever. Anyways, you don't.
Yeah, who told you that?
The doctor.
I'd say you're spot on.
Okay. What? Thanks. Anyways.
The doctor. Did the doctor fucking say that?
The doctors, the teachers, my parents, everybody.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. And you can listen to those people?
Depends on what day they catch me. And if I've
had a cup of coffee. I don't know, man. Like, cause I've been reading a lot more about it. Like, because I started getting told that, you know, by people around me that, oh, you're sounding like you're fucking schizophrenic or whatever. Man, you know.
You might well be.
Cure is for that. Vitamin B3.
There you go.
You do that and you get level.
But you're not a doctor, so don't dispense too much.
No, I say it's information. Good. You can go look it up for yourself.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, I'm saying it works for me, and that's how I feel.
But I'm a different kind of doctor.
Mm.
And what I'm going to say is the perfect prescription for trouble is a problem, a reaction, and solution.
1,
provided.
2, 3.
And there's only three ways everything works is mathematics: proton, electron, and neutron.
Man, woman, child.
All of them. It all goes in threes. So
that's why 1 1 1 1 1 1. 1 2 3 2 1.
I know.
Yeah.
All this stuff. But what I'm going to say though is if you're at a protest, right? The first thing that I noticed when I was a like young guy and going to a protest or something was you could just grab a bullhorn from one of those pussy communists and just take over the whole protest, start marching, and there's nothing anybody could do to stop you. The first time Joel ever saw me, I did just that, and I led like about 100,000 people straight against traffic when the police were all chasing us in buses, and the people in the back had no idea who they were just following the mass of people. And I walked right past Joel's house, and that's when the first time he ever saw me, he's like, "Holy shit! Look at that guy! He just grabbed that thing and just steered the whole fucking protest right down the wrong way street."
Crazy motherfucker.
Yeah,
thought.
But anyway, then you got the problem. There's like troublemakers, right? You could call them black bloc, or you could call them provocateurs or whatever. There's people that are crazy that don't give a fuck. There's people that are hearing voices. There's police dressed up like people. Even your arch enemies, like the National Socialists here, would cause crazy stuff in the communist riots before the Nazis, when they were coming to power. It was like a big circus here in Germany, with all the different people vying to take advantage of the crashing economy of the Weimar Republic. And there's just this whole history of that. See? And even, it's really weird, even in like the Bolshevik, people get all confused. They don't understand the Russian Revolution, right? Well, there was a revolution in Russia, and these anarchists and these other groups overthrew and took out the Tsar, right? Well, the communists had an organization. They weren't for self-government at all. They just went in there and killed all those guys. It said, we're in control.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And who funded that one?
It doesn't matter. Like, we'll not even get into like this anti-Zionist whatever bullshit. No. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
They even had the Bolshevik Revolution. They even had their own money printed. See what I'm saying? They were that far along with their new government when Lenin and those guys and Trotsky and all those guys just fucking took right over. See what I'm saying? Just like, all you guys are dead. Check this out. Meet the new boss. So, anyway, these days especially, there's all kinds of stuff that happens, and you can see it even if you read about the camps like Occupy Wall Street. You know, all the homeless people, anybody can come down there now. Doesn't matter, the right-wingers, everybody. Anybody could just pick up any old sign. And you could do that with a photo op. You know, like all the students are in London protesting today. Anybody can two people holding a massive sign could just unfurl a banner that says, fuck the police, let's fight. And all of a sudden it's just this crowd of people with this hostile message, right? Just for a photo opportunity. Do you know what I mean? It's like anybody could do whatever they want. And that's the danger with like mass protests. But then all I'm saying is like it's so fucking legitimate that people are bummed out because, you know, the government, for whatever reason, for many years now, has set this whole thing up. See, they didn't protect the interests of the people as a whole. They didn't change gears when it looked like, you know, when they were fighting communism or whatever, and then they outproduced them with this like wild capitalism and speculation and shit. They didn't change gears when they said now we need to put in a series of checks and balances to protect the investors and for the private property by all these shenanigans internationally. So this is all default by design.
It's all maritime admiralty law.
Well, they changed the. I know, but listen, let's not even go into the what's his name, with the whole sovereign citizen stuff. Let's not even get into all that stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you there? Lost you. Jesus. I wonder if this is like too heady for your average guy. Maybe we need to listen to like a song while he takes that in. I know, listen to me.
Yeah.
You're way out of your league.
Yeah.
Well,
too far?
Yeah, a little bit. You
know,
we're
I'm still working it out.
I know. Well, you didn't, but you see, when you hold that stuff up, then people get the wrong idea. See, I'm broadcasting from Berlin.
Yeah, right.
When we're talking about like current events, Iran, the finances, and you start throwing terms around like Zionism around, and then it's and all that bullshit. Then you start it always. See, I'll put you on pause, man, because I'm just going to tell you how it is. All right.
All right. Sorry.
Check that out. When you start bringing up all that stuff, then it's like gets to anti-Zionism, and that's not something that I am really interested in propagating. Not at all. But if you want to like call back or something, you know, you're welcome to. Let's see. Let's see if we get him back on the air. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I meant to pause
say,
you. I just meant to pause you because you missed the whole thing there. What I said was, look, when we're talking about current events, and we're also talking about like this possibility of this thing going down with Iran, and that Israel would take the lead in that, and then you start talking about the economy and bankers. Then you start tying it into Zionism. We're not getting into all that stuff.
Yeah.
The EU has already equated anti-Zionism as the same thing as anti-Semitism. It's against the law.
Well, see, I would say, but
it doesn't matter what you say. I'm telling you what the rules are. I
believe the fun. It doesn't, like, you know, like everyone can be like Jewish, everyone can be whatever.
It's not. First of all, you're not the chief rabbi of Israel, so it's not for you to decide who's Jewish and who isn't Jewish. And all it means to be Jewish is a shared cultural experience.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Like, but you know, but it's like I feel like we got to conquer that fear. Like,
it's not your job to conquer Zionism.
No, I'm not. Like, no, it's not conquering Zionism. It's just conquering fear in general.
Well, that's okay, you know. But what I'm saying is just the way that this show specifically goes.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a lot of information out there, and a lot of things ultimately, when there's issues of money and all this stuff, turns into Jew bashing, especially when there's all this weird stuff going on with the.
It's so wrong.
I know, but I'm just telling you what happens generally.
Because a Zionist isn't a Jew.
Let's leave it. You know what? It's not. You're not the chief rabbi of Israel. Let's not even go there. Can we just like talk about stuff that we know?
Yeah, sorry, man. Like, yeah. But like, I just, you know, it's just like I feel like if this is going to be like, if this is going to be a fear that they're going to try and use to play against
It's your
people,
fear, though. See, is what you're talking about. Your fear. See what
well,
I'm saying?
my fear would be that they would that by not being allowed to just have an open dialogue.
This isn't the place for it. This isn't the
people
place for it.
Yeah.
We could talk about all kinds of stuff, but there's just some things that I prefer not to get into with people, which is their understanding of the events of 9/11 and the truth movement and anti-Semitism. National socialism is another thing I don't like to talk about here, because there's plenty of people that are actually authorities on the matter of all that stuff. And perhaps one day we can have one of those people on the show and they can just talk or whatever. But I'm not interested in speculating on any of those topics. See?
Well, see, like, I'm just thinking that this is a symbol, of this is like a thing, like the as below, above, so below.
Yeah.
That's why I'd sort of read it out that way, is because like it's something that it goes infinitely beyond and like came before that. It was something that that got adopted by a culture.
Well,
like
you know what?
That existed.
I know,
before that.
but what?
I mean,
I
there's
don't
pyramids
understand.
all over the world.
Well, no shit. But anyways, you're just like not being. You're not listening very well.
Yeah, sorry, man. No, please.
It's not a sorry situation. I'm just telling you how it is. And now the onus is on my hand, because I've told you, and next time I just have to like cut you off or something.
Yeah, man. No.
Also, it makes it seem like, like I'm providing a forum for people to get in over their head, which I'm not. Hopefully.
Well, yeah.
Because there's all kinds of information out there.
Yeah.
So people can believe what they want to believe.
But it's like a human computer. Like you got to just take it all as information, and like really, you can just only make your own decision.
Well, yeah, I'm told you exactly what I've made my own decision about what our program and our television station is about.
Yeah. And that's why I say now I like properly understand that. Of course,
Of course.
Totally, man. Like,
I mean,
wouldn't cross a line.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, technologically speaking, I know what I'm doing. Philosophically, I also know what I'm doing. And I just think, traditionally, not just like the Holocaust, but many times in history, this shit has turned to a fucking bloodbath of murder and genocide, and blame the Jews. And I'm not down for that. And I don't care how corrupt the economic system is or the power structure is. How's that?
It's going, yeah, man, it's going anyway.
In fact, what
do we do?
I'm going to tell you something else. In fact,
Yep.
if you want to get down to brass tacks, I'm probably IDF.
What's IDF?
I was willing to fight to the death to make sure that doesn't happen. You can look up IDF on the internet. Do you understand? That doesn't mean that I'm Mossad. It just means that I'm IDF.
Man,
I also support Arabs. See, I'm not a racist that way.
No, I just say that, like, I'm supporting.
I'm just not into fucking blood-thirsty murdering.
Yeah, it's got to be like.
So
like, okay.
So I'm gonna play some music, and you can look up what IDF means. And then,
I'll look up.
Okay,
IDF.
so I'm gonna play some music, and I can pee and welcome my guest into the studio.
Yeah, man.
But you're welcome to call back in a little while after you go look that up. Look up IDF, okay, on Wikipedia.
Maybe that's a term that I can use now to help explain myself better.
Maybe, because then you're gonna get into some crazy stuff.
No, I don't want to get into like.